I'm Dr. Robert M. Smith. I'm the Curriculum and Instructional Standards Officer for the Aviation School and the Aviation Pre-Flight Program. And I'm here today to talk to you about some studying techniques and test-taking strategies that will help you get through this program with some good high scores. Why don't you take out one of the textbooks now and look at the table of contents. You'll see that the books are organized along the lines of lesson topics. Now, a lesson topic is analogous to a chapter in a textbook at college. Each of these lesson topics is made up of two parts. The first part is called an assignment sheet, and that's sort of a guide or a roadmap to the information that we want you to master while you're here in aviation pre-flight. The second part of the lesson topic is called the information sheets, and that contains the material that we want you to master while you're here in API. Now, the way that you use these two different parts of the textbooks together is this. When you prepare to study, I recommend that you turn first to the information pages and read through them once. When you read through them the first time, don't try to memorize anything or go for any particular level of detail. Just get used to the information and how it's laid out in the textbook. Then turn to the assignment sheet. Why don't you turn to an assignment sheet now and take a look at how it's formatted. You'll see that at the heading of the assignment sheet, at the top, there's a brief introduction to the topic. Below that introduction is the statement of a terminal objective, or what you should be able to do when you finish your course of study here at Aviation Pre-Flight. Listed below that terminal objective will be some much more well-defined pieces of information called enabling objectives. There may be some open-ended study assignment questions at the end of the assignment sheet also. Now, this is how you use the two parts of the lesson topic together. Once you've read through the information pages, then turn to the assignment sheet and look at the first enabling objective. Find where that enabling objective is discussed in the information pages. Where you find that specific passage, highlight or underline it. And over in the margin, write down the enabling objective number. Then turn back to the assignment sheet and next to that specific enabling objective, write down the page and the paragraph number where you found it discussed. This is called cross-referencing the objectives. And if you have any difficulty academically while you're here in aviation pre-flight, that's probably going to be the first question that the instructor asks you. Well, did you cross-reference the objectives into the textbook? And your answer should be yes. This is very important. By NAVAV SchoolsComm and Sinatra instruction, you can't be asked any question on our examinations that is not directly linked to an enabling objective. So if you cross-reference the enabling objectives, then you're likely to know exactly what's going to be on the examination. When you start studying for memorization or a deeper understanding of the material, I recommend that you keep your study time down to relatively brief segments of about 20 minutes with a 5-minute break intervening. That is, study for about 20 minutes, take a 5-minute break. Study for 20 minutes, take a 5-minute break. Continue with this interval until you've completed all of your studies for that particular evening. I recommend that you not study for long periods of time without taking a break. You'll get bored, your mind will start wandering, and you'll just be wasting your time. I also recommend that you don't study with people from outside the program, say a spouse or a friend, sitting around the apartment in the evening asking you questions out of the textbook. You need to stick with the class members of your class. People from outside the program don't know what is being emphasized, and it's not a very effective way to study. Also, if you have a friend that's already completed this phase of training, maybe out at one of the training wings, and you think that they may be able to gouge you up on what's going to be on the examinations, I don't recommend that you do that either. This curriculum is changing very rapidly, and what we were teaching and testing 6 months ago is not the way that we're doing things today. Now, I don't know if anyone in here has a mechanical engineering degree or an electrical engineering degree or much prior aviation experience. You may be an ex-FAA controller, or you may be a senior scientist from General Electric's Jet Propulsion Labs. For the next 6 weeks, all the correct answers are in the book. 7 weeks from now, you can tell that engines instructor that he really doesn't know what he's talking about. But for now, we're going to ask you some book questions, and we want you to give us book answers. Your examinations will be given on answer sheets that look about like this. They'll typically be 50 questions, 4 alternative, multiple choice format. And I'm sure you're familiar with that format. You may not have ever been told how to take a multiple choice test, so this is how you do it. When you've been given permission to start the examination and you open your test booklet and you look at the first question, the first thing that I want you to do is cover up the answers that are listed on that question. I want you to read the question, read it thoroughly, and understand exactly what that question is asking. Once you have read the question, answer the question in your mind. And when you have that answer firmly fixed in your mind, then uncover the listed alternatives and select your answer from the list. If you've studied, it'll be there. Your first intuitive response to the question will be the correct answer. Now, the reason that I'm cautioning you about this is that in poorly constructed multiple choice tests, about all you have to do is look through the alternatives and select the one that isn't clearly incorrect. But our tests are very high quality here at Schools Command. And the incorrect answers for our multiple choice questions are not easily discerned as an incorrect answer by an untrained student. What the exam writers will use as the incorrect answers in multiple choice questions will be the correct answer to closely related questions or illustrations of common mistakes that students make in training. For instance, if a question in aerodynamics asks about an effect around a symmetrically cambered airfoil, listed as incorrect answers will be the equivalent effect around an asymmetrically cambered airfoil. In engine systems, a question may ask about a gas turbine system and the relative pressures associated with different parts of that system. The question may ask about a turbofan engine. Listed will be the equivalently correct answers for a turboprop. In navigation, we may ask you to compute a heading. And what do you think a logical incorrect answer would be that would be diagnostic of a student's mistake in training? That's right, the reciprocal of a heading is a common mistake that students make. So in reading the questions, be careful that you don't pick up on incorrect material that you may have remembered studying the night before, but is not the correct answer for the question involved. I recommend that you make 3 or 4 passes through your examination. On the first pass, answer all the questions that you know, answer them right off the bat. Go quickly through the examination. Go all the way through the test, answering everything that you know and skipping those questions that you don't know. On the second pass through the examination, you'll be dealing with questions that you did not know the correct answer to the first time through the test. So what I recommend that you do is to eliminate as many of the alternatives as you can that you know are not correct. This will increase the likelihood that you'll get that question correct. In a 4-alternative multiple choice exam, your chance level of success for any question is about 25%. If you can eliminate just one alternative, that will increase your chance level of success to about 33%. And that's to your advantage. If you can eliminate 2 plausible incorrect answers to the examination, then you've got it down to about a 50% probability. At that point, go ahead, read the question one more time, make your selection, mark down your answer, and keep going. Don't spend too much time on any one question. Don't sit there and stew over a question you're having difficulty with. You'll get nervous, you'll start making mistakes, and it's just not a good thing to do. Now, on your third pass through the test, you don't know the correct answers to the questions. You don't know the wrong answers to the questions. This material was not covered by the instructor. It's not in the textbook, and it's not on the video. So what are you going to have to do? Well, you're going to have to put something down on that answer sheet. So I recommend that you go ahead and select one alternative, A, B, C, or D, and always use that as your guess alternative. If you use this technique, then you'll get about 25% of your guesses correct just by chance. One last thing. At the end of a testing period, don't go back and start changing answers that you've already committed to on the answer sheet. Typically, answers that are changed on an answer sheet are about 85% changed from correct to incorrect. If you have any questions, you can contact the CISO office at Schools Command, Building 633. Thank you.